Greetings from Toledo. I'm David Perdue, the trademark Wahoo. Today, plan to talk about trademarks that include geographic names. Now, the trademark statute has a prohibition against the registration of a trademark that consists of a name that is primarily, merely, geographically descriptive. As you might imagine, the courts have defined that and come up with a three-part test. A mark is primarily merely geographically descriptive if the primary significance of the mark is a generally known geographic place or location, and the goods or services recited in the application actually originate in the geographic place with the name in the trademark. And three, purchasers are likely to make an association between the geographic term and the products or services and would be likely to believe that the products or the services originate in the geographic place identified in the mark. I tried to make this relevant, at least to me. I did a trademark search in the Patent and Trademark Office trademark database for trademark records for marks that include the word Toledo. And I came up with a list of 207 records, but it turns out that most of those trademark records are dead. I filtered my search results and came up with records for 98 trademarks with live records in the Patent and Trademark Office. Let's talk about those. Now, here's a set of trademark records for trademarks for goods or services that originate in Toledo. We have a AAA baseball team. It's a farm team for the Detroit Tigers. Go Tigers. The name of our club is the Toledo Mud Hens. It's funny because it's Mud Hens. And actually, the Toledo Mud Hens have 9 trademark records for marks that include the word Toledo. Here's an example. The Toledo Mud Hens is registered for entertainment services in the nature of baseball games. What happened when this Mud Hens application was filed, the examining attorney in the Patent and Trademark Office noticed that the applicant, the Toledo Mud Hens Baseball Club, was located in Toledo, Ohio. We have a generally known geographic term. We have goods and, we have services originating in Toledo, and it's likely that people will associate those services with Toledo. Now, the trademark is Toledo Mud Hens, and they were successful in registering the mark, but they had to disclaim the exclusive right to the word Toledo, apart from the mark Toledo Mud Hens. And this is simply an acknowledgement by the Mud Hens Baseball Club that other people who provide goods and services in Toledo are free to use the word Toledo, as long as they're not trying to register a mark that's too similar to Toledo Mud Hens for related or similar services. Here's one for Toledo Edison, a First Energy company. Full disclosure here, I buy my electricity from Toledo Edison. Here's a trademark record for Toledo with a really cool graphic design. Looks kind of like a rocket, and it's no coincidence that our University of Toledo sports teams have a mascot, which is a rocket, and that's led to some pretty interesting mascot uniforms over the years. The University of Toledo owns this. Let's move on to another category of trademarks, including the word Toledo. Here we have Toledo Tools, registered for pipe and bolt threading and cutting machines. The trademark is currently owned by Curtis Toledo, and that company is in Missouri. I think that's how you say it, Missouri. So not located in Toledo. Here's a registration for the mark Toledo. It's registered for chairs to a company just over the Michigan line in Temperance, Michigan. The company is Michigan Tube Swagers and Fabricators. Full disclosure here would be that Tina in our office lives in Temperance, and the person behind the camera here lives in Temperance. Well, there's one more thing. The young woman that I took to high school prom, Victoria Imes, was the daughter of Dick Imes, and he worked at Michigan Tube Swagers. Here's a trademark owned by a company not in Toledo. And then we have, this is one I enjoy, Pink Pootie by Isabel Toledo. No problem with merely geographically descriptive, because the trademark registration is owned by Isabel Toledo, and it's registered for cosmetic type products. And then I thought I would conclude with Toledo Trademarks, owned by companies that are not in Toledo and not in the United States. So here we have Toledo registered for watches. The registration is owned by a company in Switzerland. Here's Toledo registered for fungicides, which is kind of funny because we have an algae problem in Lake Erie. Trademark registration for Toledo for fungicides is owned by a company in Hong Kong. Here's Toledo registered for stationery and writing instruments. It's owned by a company in Germany. Here's trademark registration for the mark Toledo. It's registered for tires, tire repair equipment, and well, you know right away it's not a company in the U.S. because tire is spelled Tyres, kind of like they do in the United Kingdom, and that's where the owner of the Toledo trademark registration for tires is located. Then we have Toledo Black Series, registered for locks and door stops and security hardware and whatnot. And that company is located in Puerto Rico. And that's today's look at geographic trademarks, and trademarks including geographic names. And speaking of Toledo trademarks, just remember, you'll do better in Toledo.